Hello everyone and happy Christmas morning. I want to welcome each of you to the online edition of UU Holton's Sunday services. My name is Jeffrey Carmichael, also known as Fen, and I am your minister among many today, filling in for Reverend Dave, giving him Christmas Day off this year. I want to start today with lighting candle as both our chalice and this episode is pre-recorded, just so everybody knows. We got a really bad winter storm coming in tonight. It's Friday as of recording this, and I just want to light this candle as both our chalice for today's service, but also as a candle of concern for everybody, hoping that as I'm recording this and later on through the rest of the day while this video is waiting to air, that everybody stays warm, stays safe, that the lights stay on, that the power for our furnaces keeps going, so we can all enjoy this time together with our loved ones with plenty of light and heat. So, got our chalice and candle of concern lit. I want to remind everybody with our online services, if you've got anything that you want to share that's a joy that's in your heart or a concern that you have and you wish to put that in our comment section down below, I'd like to invite you to leave a comment. We'll light some candles for you in one of our next future episodes. Alright. And seeing how I am hoping for a miracle of light, and today is not just Christmas, but also tonight will be the last night of Hanukkah. I'm going to, for our opening words, read from Singing the Living Tradition, number 629, Hanukkah Lights. We gather in the chill of winter solstice, finding warmth from each other, nourishing hope where reason fails. Grateful for the small miracles, we rejoice in the wonder of light and darkness and the daring of hope. O Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You made us holy with your commandments and call us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You performed miracles for our ancestors in days of old at this season. Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You have kept us alive, you have sustained us, you have brought us to this moment. Now, this past week, for a social studies lesson, I actually talked with my students at the Carlton Project about just the number of religious holidays that we actually, religious and secular holidays that we actually have during this time of year. Of course, the 31st is going to be Christmas Eve, when we celebrate the end of one year and the start of the next. But also, we've had some other holidays that have happened this month. Rohatsu, or Buddha Day, is the day in which Buddhist tradition people celebrate the Buddha's decision to sit beneath the Budai tree and actually start his search for enlightenment. And that actually happened on December 8th is when that is traditionally celebrated. Of course, Tonight is the last night of Hanukkah, which officially started on December 18th. Today's topic is actually, I've got quite a bit about Hanukkah. It was part of the lesson that I had taught to my students. So, I'll get to that in a minute. The last holiday that I have in my notes is on December 21st, celebrated until January 1st, is the Celtic tradition of Yule. Interesting note. The Celts believed that the sun would stand still on the solstice, which actually was December 21st. And during this time, because it's the time when the sun, we get an equal amount of night and day during the summer solstice, but this is the time when we have the least amount of sun and the most amount of dark. So the Celts used to think that the sun is not moving as fast as it should, so we need to get this, kicked up into high gear. So it actually burn a full-size tree for 12 days in order to jumpstart the sun. I think it's actually kind of funny because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us that would probably be like, yeah, let's light up a whole tree and have a huge bonfire if we can get winter be over, especially with all these storms we've been having. So that was a little funny tidbit I thought was humorous. But no, going back, I know not a lot of people here in northern Maine celebrate Hanukkah. A lot of my students really didn't know a lot about it. They knew that there was candles and it was 8 days of presents. They didn't know the history and story of it. It actually goes back to the 2nd century BC. The Maccabean revolt happened in 167 to 160 BC. And this was actually when the Jews in Judea were actually rebelling against the Greek Empire at this time. Before this time period, the Greek king had a very open mindset and was very accepting of people celebrating other religious traditions and allowed the Jews to worship freely. But when his son rose to power, he decided that best way to put it, he wanted to make Greece great again. So he outlawed the worshiping of non-Greek gods to strengthen the Greek Empire by focusing back on their deities. The Jews rebelled against this, and the Second Temple in Jerusalem was under siege for 8 days. This is when they only had enough lamp oil to keep the lamps burning in the temple for 1 day, and the miracle of the lamp oil lasting for the full 8 days of the siege comes from. It was originally a older Jewish holiday that was happening during that time where they had to keep the lights burning during observation of that celebration. And then it became the tradition to light the menorah on each day of Hanukkah in order to remember that time of struggle. And I talked about resource scarcity with my students, which a lot of these holidays all have in common. It's wintertime. It's the hardest time of the year when you don't have a lot of food or lamp oil or firewood. A lot of these ancient celebrations we have is about that coming together as a community, of sharing what you have that you have an abundance of, but somebody else might not have. A lot of the stuff that gets disregarded. Thank you, Android phone. He really likes to chime in every once in a while when he really wants to agree on things. But no, about talking about that, about the coming together, and our church theme for this year is about belonging and belonging in a community. And I really like that we are able to celebrate these different holidays that we have throughout this time, where we do come together as a community to share. this past week we had our traditional Yule winter solstice service hosted by Lee and Fred Griffith, where we usually get together and talk about the ancient pagan and Yule traditions and light candles together and share our hopes for the new year and the things that we want to leave behind. And that's another common theme about these winter traditions, is of coming together and moving forward and strengthening the bonds of our community. And it's really nice for us to be able to have these online church services so we can have that spirit of belonging when the weather has turned nasty or people have moved away and aren't able to be part of the physical community anymore. So I just wanted to, share these different holiday traditions, give you a little bit more pieces of information, and really highlight the ways that we do celebrate community and belonging during this time. And whether that's, I talked with my students about the traditions that people have, about putting up the tree and going Christmas caroling. Actually had a wonderful experience taking my students Christmas caroling through downtown Holton last Friday on the 16th? Yes. We went caroling. So if you saw us around the community doing that, it was very nice to be able to share that experience and bring some Christmas joy to everyone. And it really made me feel like part of the Holton community, and it really helped to strengthen that bond. Just gotta peruse my notes. All this. I know it's a bit of a short service, but I really just wanted to be able to talk a little bit and wish you all a Merry Christmas, a joyous Yule, a Happy Hanukkah, and don't plan on taking up too much of your time. I know we've all got family get-togethers to go through, tons of FaceTime and YouTube video, well, not YouTube, but FaceTime, Facebook video messages to share and reach out and say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and belong with your family that is distant. So I will wrap up this quick service with a few closing words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So, thank you for tuning in. If you're not already a member, please subscribe on that little button below. Click the notification bell so you'll find out when more of these church services come out, and give us a share, to share our message of good tidings to you and all of your kin on this Christmas morning. And we'll see you next time. I think I've got one last thing. If you would like to donate to help out the church, there is a donation link in the video description down below. You can click on to help out, but if you're unable to, that simple sharing and subscribing also goes a long way to helping us out. So thank you, bless you, may the force be with you. Merry Christmas. Got through it all, and there's no use of what do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he's already got a comb.
Good job.